The U.S. Open wrapping up yesterday, and North Carolinian Webb Simpson, he took the title with 1 over par. But did anybody really win? Tony Olivero, our sports reporter, is right here beside me. Wow, how bad was it?
It was pretty bad. I think you could say that the course won. The Olympic Club out in San Francisco won.
The course won.
The course won because, you know, the Webb Simpson scored +1, 1 over par, and the goal in golf obviously is to meet par, but shoot better than par. So for the professionals, not one person met par, was under par. So I guess you could say they all lost.
What was so tough about this particular course?
Well, every year the U.S. Open kind of manicures the course, you know, almost for the fans, you know, to view this event where these professionals are struggling like they do every time out when they're, you know, playing on the weekend casually the fans.
Right.
So the USGA, Mike Davis, who's the head of the USGA, you know, has said in the past that this event is there to test the golfers, and in past years it's been worse actually. And this is pretty bad.
This is pretty bad, yeah. But a lot of the big names not even making it into the final cut for Saturday.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson, Rory McIlroy, and of course Bubba Watson, who is the hero from the Masters.
Right.
They all failed to make the cut. Tiger Woods made the cut, but again, getting back to that question as with regards to why it's so tough, they purposely make these courses where you have to hit the fairways, everything's slanted, the greens are like half the size of regular PGA Tour greens, so you know you have to play pretty much perfect in these events year after year. The U.S. Opens like this.
Game of Survivor, I mean, almost.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, back to him for a second. How did he fare on those first 6 holes, Tony?
He's a perfect case study for what kind of happened this weekend. On the first day, he shot under par and he was in contention. Going into the weekend, you know, everyone was kind of talking about Tiger and how this was going to be his comeback. But then on the last day, on the first 6 holes, he shot bogey, bogey, double bogey, and was out of it. So Woods is kind of a perfect microcosm case study of those first 6 holes and how difficult they were.
What that course can do. How are the fans surrounding Tiger in general? How are the fans at this particular tournament overall? I mean, they're known for being like really vocal.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about the U.S. Open is it's almost like, as far as fans being able to be vocal and a little bit different and bizarre, it's the exception. So it's a public tournament, obviously, so it's an open championship, so the fans are notoriously kind of very vocal and screaming things and very supportive and bizarre. And even this year, there's one very bizarre episode. What happened was Simpson, when he was getting interviewed by Bob Costas, there was this guy who was wearing a Union Jack hat, and he just started like cawing like a seagull, and it was just very bizarre.
Like a seagull?
Yeah,
right.
Like almost like a bird. So you know, it was very funny, but it was you know, Simpson kind of responded and said to him, "Enjoy the jail cell, pal." But that kind of is the perfect microcosm for the U.S. Open, and maybe this year, you know, because these fans kindly get to, you know, express their opinion in their voice, and you know, it's kind of like their tournament. It's like, we're going to see you struggle, and this is kind of our message to you, maybe.
Cawing like a seagull, I guess that's the equivalent of like rushing the field in baseball, right? Which you can see.
Or
not
streaking on a soccer field.
Streaking on the soccer field.
Yeah, I mean, golf is this sacred sport where you really can't do these things. So, you know, for that to happen is pretty remarkable and bizarre.
All right, well, interesting tournament, and Webb Simpson, that's the name to remember, even with a little asterisk beside it, maybe. All right, Tony Olivero, thanks for bringing us that.